Do you know it's Marco Osillo with the C4A Tribe or Cells for Autism Tribe. Hello, everybody. Today is Friday, April the 20th. I think my eyes look weird because I'm looking at, there's the camera. Okay. So if I look a little weird, this is my first time doing Facebook Live with share screen and all that other jazz. But today's topic of vlog 102, because my first vlog was like 100 months ago, but I decided that I'm going to do this consistently now. So I think it's important for all of us to sort of share and use this forum for opinions, comments, frustrations, fears, you name it, all of the emotions for us parents who have gone through the roller coaster of getting the diagnosis of having a child with autism. So hopefully you're watching this on the Cells for Autism page. If not, hopefully you can watch the replay. Today's topic, very, very important to my heart. I think it's the beginning of everything. It's called early intervention, and how early intervention can subsequently lead to gainful employment with your adult teenager who has been diagnosed with some sort of, autism-related disability. All right, so we'll just call it ASD, or for whatever reason, that's how the community likes to call our kids. I just call them special because I think special is really a truer way of, labeling, if you will, and I don't like using that word, but that's sort of how all of us in society label each other. Oh, he's Hispanic, in my case, or he's white, or he's black, or he's this, or he's that. So in our case, we'll just say children with special needs. So what I want to talk about is I find very useful processes that are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's a great resource out there that you have access to for free under the website called Autism Speaks. I know not everybody likes Autism Speaks, and there are some elements of that page that I don't necessarily agree with, but there's a lot of information there that I think it's very, very useful for us, right? And as I am looking to build the biggest tribe of special needs affiliate marketers out in the world, I'm not just stopping at the US, guys. I am going big. With your help, we're all going big. So I want to talk about how important early intervention is, and then we'll tie that back into, gainful employment, and then we'll tie back into what I think that we are on the cusp of really tearing it up and really, really allowing our kids, which are young adults now perhaps, the ability to work from home under their own terms, with their own quirky behavior, and nobody's going to make fun of them, nobody's going to harass them, and we're going to have peace of mind as parents, okay? So let's start with early intervention. So bear with me as I get my bearings with this technology here. So I'm going to go to the first website that I have found to be one of the websites that creates value from an informational perspective only. I'm not suggesting by any means we do everything to the T, but they have really good informational guides. So on this site, you can just type in whatever subject you're looking for. In the case for us right now, I'm talking about early intervention. So I'm gonna go ahead and type that, and it's gonna bring me to an early intervention for toddlers with autism, highly effective study, and an early interventions from family and adults toolkit 100-day. That's the one that I selected, which I already have here, I believe. Yes, it's here, I think. Let's see, let me make sure. Yes, it's here. So this guide sort of walks you through, on a 6-page, very short and sweet, what to expect, from does my child really have autism to, okay, so now that I have understood that it is the diagnosis, then, what are my rights and what is my children's rights? So this is a great way of understanding how to navigate the system. And by the way, this is available in all 48 states continentally, and I would venture to say that also Alaska and Hawaii and, you know, Puerto Rico as well. But basically, you have all the different legislation with how to go about it, and it's only a 6-pager, so you can certainly dive in. But the key here is, you know, you want to make sure you team up with your school once you do the following. And let me just jump over here to my favorite page, which is page number 31 here. You know, I spoke about, you know, 4-prong approach back in the year 1992. No, I'm sorry, 2001. 98 is when my daughter was born. 2001, when we were first told that she had autism. You know, this is exactly what we did. And we followed it to the T, and I got to tell you, it works because it organizes your chaos. You first get the diagnosis, you don't know where to go, what to do, how to feel, blah, blah, blah. All those things are going to come into play. But before you go there, my recommendation is get organized. So when you get organized in this manner, so for instance, before services can be provided, you must, as a parent, complete further assessments so that you can have documented information for the different agencies that the county or the government or the school system is going to be able to allow your child to participate in. This is very important. All right. So in this guide, it talks about an unstructured diagnostic play session, which means an observation where they sort of validate whether or not your boy or girl falls into the spectrum and at what level of severity, whether it is on the lighter side or the heavier side. Then a developmental evaluation to sort of give a score as to where you are as compared to typical peers. Then the very most important, in my humble opinion, is a speech-language assessment. Why? Without language, folks, we cannot communicate with our children. We have to have a common language. In the beginning, the language that we used was, believe it or not, visual schedules and sign language. Hello, my daughter didn't have words or a word bank until the age of 5, almost maybe 6. So in order for us to know if she needed to go to the potty or she was hungry or she had pain or whatever, we needed a system for her to tell us what she was going through. So a speech language assessment is important because it's going to provide you with those resources and tools. Then you're going to have an interview with the authorities, whichever authority is leading the charge in your county. I'm going to go ahead and take that call later. Then an evaluation of the current behavior. In other words, what's actually happening today? Are your kids lining up toys? Are they not looking at you in the eyes? Are they walking on their tippy toes? Either stemming, whether it be a tick on the face or a facial tick, or are they flapping their hands? Are they smiling uncontrollably? Whatever the current behavior is, you need to know and you need to label it. And then an evaluation of adaptive or real life skills. In other words, how are we going to start to help our kids move from where they are to a more social, inclusive behavior pattern? All right, all of this can happen to anyone, but you must start early. I cannot stress this enough. Early intervention to me means the moment you notice something's not right, meaning your child isn't developing. Let me make sure I go back here. Thank you. The moment you notice that your child isn't developing in the way in which he or she needs to be developing, right? You notice that they're slow speaking, or they're not playing at the same level of other friends in the neighborhood or school or cousins or brothers or siblings, whatever. That should be a red flag. Let me share with you real quickly how we found out. Karina, my daughter, used to get ear infections all the time, right? So at one point we went to the ENT and we're like, you may have to put tubes in there because, somewhere along the line, I think the fluid needs to come out. And, after the doctor left for something, the nurse came over to us and said, shh, don't say anything, but I think that you need to go see a psychologist because I think your daughter needs some help. That's all she said. You can imagine, my wife and I were like, what? We had no clue. We did notice, though, that she wasn't developing, but you know what the pediatrician would tell us? Oh, all kids are different. They develop differently. They go at their own pace. Don't worry about it. You know what? You can't, because the pediatrician's in business for one reason. Let me see as many kids as I can on an 8-hour work shift. That's it. And that's a lot easier, less legal involvement, and my hands are off. Why? They're not experts, and I get it. But you as the parent, you need to notice, and if someone doesn't give you, like your pediatrician gives you an answer, you go and find a psychologist or a psychiatrist, which is what I would prefer. All right? So I know I've emphasized that enough, but that's important. Guys, the earlier you start, the bigger the runway you have. And I guarantee you, you're not going to regret it. All right, so enough of that. Let's talk about, now they've become adults. They've had the IEP at school, all the way through elementary school, all the way through middle school, all the way through high school. And by the way, from middle school to high school down here in South Florida, they sort of say, okay, well, we're going to have an IEP, but it's not going to be supervised. My wife and I were like lion and lioness when it came to the IEP. We even had advocates and representatives there, making sure that our rights were being observed and practiced, and that we weren't missing anything. And I still have all the notes I took. Every time they'd give me a goal, I'll give you an example. A fourth grade typical goal might be, construct a sentence in 3, using a noun, using an adjective, and using a subject. And then, 3 out of 5 tries, your child would be able to do that with 80% accuracy. That might be a goal stated on the IEP, but your child can't do that. Well, how do you even rewrite the goal so that it's fitting to the level where your child is at? And that's where you need advocates. Okay, I'm telling you, this is all important, and you've got to be the coach of all of the teacher teams. So you make sure that in your IEP, all of your teachers that touch your child are there present, and you're the coach. And so you get their feedback humbly. You don't get upset, because there's going to be things said there in the IEP that you're not going to like, but you just listen, and then you take notes, and then you coach them. You say, okay, my daughter likes to do things this way, and so I would recommend you use the visual schedule. And then maybe for the reading part, I recommend that you enunciate the words and you show her how to sound out the vowels, or whatever the case may be. And then if they assess them with the standard testing models, then you say, okay, did you provide extra time, and did you do it on a one-on-one without prompting, but ensuring that when you did it, you did it with the practice that you did at the same time when you were working one-on-one. You have got to be really, really good at this. Sounds like a lot of information, but once you do it the first year, then the second year is a lot easier, and it gets easier on and on and on and on and on. So have I made my point on early intervention? I think I have, and I'll talk more about that, but I think that that's important. Remember, my child was nonverbal till the age of 6. Okay. Now, moving on. So what happens, you've gone through elementary, then you've gone to middle school, and then, you're going to start getting some bullying going on and some stuff like that. But, you can always, tear that apart immediately by talking to the principal, and I'm sure you have many channels in your school to stop any bullying that may be going on with your special needs kid. But here's the other thing that I recommend. in high school, it's very, very important, okay, that your child belongs to different clubs that deal with servicing other children with special needs. I'll tell you a program down here in South Florida in Parkland, in Stoneman Douglas, by the way, the school that had all that big shooting and all that good stuff. But, you know, my daughter was a part of a program called peer counseling. And in peer counseling, they taught them how to think for themselves, and they taught them how to coach and identify social cues for other children that would have trouble. Maybe they didn't have autism, but they had other conditions under the spectrum, maybe the ADHD or Tourette's, or, you know, maybe they had a little bit of a retardation going on. I mean, whatever the case may be, you know, bullying is universal, and it's gender neutral and race neutral, so it doesn't care what color, race, or gender you are. It's bullying, right? So you gotta nip it in the bud. Now, the point I'm trying to make with you in high school is that you have to be just as active in those IEP meetings as you were in elementary school, okay? Do not, under any circumstance, leave your child unattended. So let's go over and take a look at how you can, now that you've graduated your child, which is our case right now. Oops, wrong guide. On this page 2, by the way, let me just show you employment transition. So when you do that, there is another guide, okay, which are right here, which is what I took, and then you can take a look here. The PDF is this one, which I downloaded right here, okay? And you're gonna have step-by-step, which I think it's important to have step-by-step. So you have the prep part of it, okay, that walks you through a different bunch of things that you could do. You know, then you have the career exploration. A lot of counties in the United States have departments that actually have all of this down pat and allow you to come in for free during your high school senior year to be able to do things like, you know, working in the school store, filling orders, you know, a general office task, volunteer opportunities, just to sort of assess what are things that are good for your child. Internships during the school and after graduation. You know, I think that peer counseling and buddies, special buddies, is a great program that your child can do a lot of service hours. You know, the types of employments that you might be able to qualify for: competitive employment, supported employment. Supported employment is what I start with, because it's when you're going to have someone coaching your child at work when you're not doing it, okay? After they've obviously interviewed them and have done all the assessments and et cetera, and the recommendations, who have been agreed to by you and the assessor. You know, a customized employment type of work environment, secured employment, or if your child/adult requires segregated employment, that also has to be available, right? And then you can just start to match your skill set with what's available out there. So this is a great guide, okay, to follow if you're in this case. I think that when I create the group on our page, we're going to be able to, you know, share experiences that are more realistic than just the guide. But for now, this is good. And then here you can have different resources that you have links for, okay? I will go ahead and put these documents on our page. I'm back. I'll go ahead and put these documents on our page so that you have something to look for. Now, my 2-minute pitch, and I promise you, if you have questions on here, I'll be delighted to answer them if I know how to do that. But so here's the key. We know 3 things about our children that are of working age who have been labeled autistic. Number 1, they don't like change. Change is like the enemy, all right? We know that. 2, they like to be under predictable circumstances, meaning the experience needs to be sort of told ahead of time so that they know how to navigate that. And 3, they don't like to be bothered or in places where either there's just a lot of noise, a lot going on, like a cashier job. When my daughter worked at Domino's, she found that job, by the way, on her own, and we were like, "Are you sure?" And she actually did okay, but she hated it because she always had to like think how much change to get back if people pay cash, and I can only imagine how difficult that is. But what we're doing here at Cells for Autism Tribe is I'm going to, with my team of geeks, we're developing ways where our kids can work from home using just the computer, okay, and their mind to promote brands like eBay, Amazon, Alibaba, or Adidas or Nike or Pokemon or whichever brand or thing they're passionate about, and make money doing it. Because if you haven't realized it by now, the affiliate marketing space, and I come from technology, telecom, blah, 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 and I also am a real estate investor, but that has nothing to do with this. This is my passion. I'm telling you, affiliate marketing by the year 2023 is estimated to be triple of what it is today. And today is $5 billion just in the United States of America. And the United States of America is where 45% of affiliate marketers make their money. So I see that together, you and I can train our kids, okay, for free. Okay, I'm not going to charge a dime for this. This is not anything that needs to be kept secret or only for the people who can afford it. This is going to be a free service that we and my team are going to provide for all of us, because we're learning together to allow and empower our children to be super affiliate earners from home. In that way, not only will they help with the expenses at your home, but they'll feel independent and they'll have awesome experiences in the life that they'll live alongside with us. So that's my dream, and I guarantee you I'm going to do everything in my power to make it come true. So let me see if you have any questions here. Let me just read some of the comments. I have Joanne Lee. Hi, Joanne. Thank you for being here. I have a friend from Venezuela, David Linares, from a long time ago. He's a vet. He's great. He's awesome. Joanne says she's been doing IEPs for 11 years, and that doesn't count for the 2 years of Head Start. Awesome. Joanne, we're looking for your contributions here at our page, Cells for Autism. I want you to contribute tips and tricks and how our new diagnosed parents can, set themselves up for success. So with your help and your experience, I'm hoping that you can contribute. I'm going to make a group, and I'm looking forward to having you be a contributing member. She's also talking about how she's in high school now teaching in Pinellas County, Florida. Let's see, I heard that 22 months, he's got 4 older siblings doing all the talking for him, clicking his tongue. Oh, that's amazing. It's great to hear. Look, guys, this is a journey, okay? And our kids are so awesome that it's our duty to empower them and enable them to be the best that they could be, okay? So I don't want to make this too long, so I want people to be able to follow through. But Joanne, you and I are connected. Girl, give me some tips, give me some comments on this video. Let's go ahead, you and I, start the chain of help. And remember, we're going to empower our kids to become super affiliate marketers so they can become independent financially and learn a new skill set, because I guarantee you it's in there. All right, guys, so this has been Marco Ocio with the C4A Tribe. Looking forward to having more and more and more of you join me every time I come out. and talk about a new topic within the autism spectrum scheme. All right. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. All right. Let me see if I can end the video right. I think I just click here. Cheers.